Hi everyone, and welcome to my driving video today of this beautiful one owner white Ford Ranger Edge 2002 extended cab. We're going to be driving 3-liter V6. Just wanted to show you a quick preview of the outside so you see what we're driving. On my detailed walk around video, I commented about the size, and before we hop in right here, I want to point out, because there's even more trucks that have shown up here, look at that newer Ridgeline. Big compared to this, even though that's a small truck nowadays. I wish that had been here earlier. Over there's a giant F-150 and Silverado. Those trucks are full-size trucks, I get it, and there's a big Denali one over there. They're just so big, and I commented and talked about in my walk-around video about how this size is just so reasonable and easy and manageable to drive. And, you know, some people need those big giant trucks, but we're going to take this out. We're going to drive it on some city streets, some freeway streets. Just wanted you to see what we're driving. It's very nice. Extended cab with the rear doors that open, suicide here. 160,000 miles. Everything works, and we're going to go drive it, talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I like, anything I don't like. Zoom out my camera and get my seatbelt on here. So it's easy to drive, I'll tell you that much. And here we go. It's easy to drive, and it's just such a manageable size, drivability wise, parking wise, every which way. Oh, there's a big Tundra. I know I'm not exactly comparing an apple to an apple when you talk about full-size trucks. That's a Capstone. That's an expensive one. But just in general, you know, older full-size trucks like that older Silverado right there, they weren't as huge as they are now. And now a new Ranger like this is like the size, I mentioned this on the walk around video, a new Ranger like this is like the size of a older F-150 from this time period. Basically an F-150 from this time period is about the size of a brand new Ranger today, is what I'm trying to say, right? So again, there's just not really small trucks like this made anymore, and a lot of people like it. Older people like it. And speaking of older people, my mother, certainly obviously older than I am. I'm not going to disclose my age here, but my mom loves her Ranger. I talked about that on my walk around video, that she has a 1997 Ranger extended cab. So it's basically the same as this truck, but it's just an XLT trim. It's not an Edge package like this. This is very good looking with the Edge package, but she has a 1997 XLT extended cab, and hers is from the later 90s like that, so the extended cab part doesn't actually open. It's just the extended cab, but the rear doors don't open. And she loves that truck. I got it for her 14 years ago. She has had it for 14 years. She has added, I don't know, 50, 60,000 miles. But anyway, just the other day, just yesterday, she texted me a photo and it turned over 200,000 miles. I think it had 143, if I remember right, when I got it for her 14 years ago. And it doesn't sound like she's added a lot of miles, because she hasn't, because she's always had another car and she doesn't drive very far to go to work. She's a school teacher. But anyway, she's had this truck for 14 years. She loves it. She drives it more than she drives her regular car, which is a Mercedes ML SUV I said on the other video. I mean, the Mercedes is beautiful and it's a luxurious SUV, but she would rather drive her Ranger. So that tells you something right there. And I did mention on the other video, I asked her if she would like to purchase this one because it's a little newer than the one she has. She said, nope, there's nothing wrong with my truck. I like my truck and I'm good with it. So anyway, just shows you how much someone really likes something when they have it. And it's my own family testimony about durability and reliability, because she has loved that truck and it has cost her very little to own and operate for all those years. Very, very few problems. And even when these trucks do need work, they are incredibly inexpensive to work on, and parts are very inexpensive, and they just really don't break anyway. So 3-liter V6, it's only like 154 horsepower, I think. So it's not, you know, it's not a race truck. It's not an SVT Raptor. But it gets the job done. It's got good acceleration. It's a pretty quiet cab. I mean, you hear the engine a little bit. Seats are very comfortable for me. Plenty of headroom. I'm 6 foot, a little over 6 foot tall, and I'm touching the top of my head in the ceiling right now, probably about 4 inches above my head, and I'm sitting very upright to do this video demonstration for you. So I've got plenty of headroom. I've got plenty of leg room too. I mean, I like to sit with my leg to the side, my left leg. I've got plenty of room there. I don't even have the seat all the way back, I don't think. Yeah, so I can actually move the seat back a little more, and now I'm really far back, and I've got even more room here. Don't worry, I'm always looking out front, even when I show you something that's not out front. So lots of comfort and leg room. Nice armrest in this one that's comfortable for your arm. This truck runs great, drives great. Everything works like it should. Air conditioning works. It's nice and cold in here right now. Cruise control works. I'll demonstrate that when we go out on the freeway. I did mention on the walk-around video that not all Rangers are created equally. So this Ranger has power windows and locks and cruise, and keyless entry also. I forgot to mention that on the walk-around video. It has factory keyless entry, and it does have 2 complete sets of keys. So, yep, 2 complete sets of keys, 2 keys, 2 remotes, and all of that is part of this Edge package. You can have a regular XLT trim like my mom's. My mom's does have power windows and locks and cruise and keyless entry even in that time period as well. But you can have an XLT and it just have power have no power or anything. It can be an XLT trim and not have power windows and locks and cruise. So you know, they're not all the same, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Go back this way a little ways and kind of back around, and then we'll end up making our way over to the freeway. Just enjoying to drive and talk to you about this. Drives nice and straight. I mean, it's not the ride of a Cadillac, of course. I mean, you feel the bumps in the road, but I will say that this is better than my mom's. I tried to tell her that. I feel like the cab is a little roomier. I might be crazy, but I do feel like it's a little bit roomier. Excuse me. I did not mention this on the walk-around video, but my mom actually had an '89 Ford Ranger, which was the really square body style with a real flat front, and she had that one. Prior to the 1997 that she has now. So the 1997 was a big upgrade when she went from the 89 to the 97. And the 89 truck was a fantastic truck as well. That series Ranger had a great reputation of durability and reliability as well. And that truck actually had a longer bed on it, like a 7-foot bed. Yeah. It was a regular cab. It was an 89 regular cab, so it was a big upgrade when she got a 97 extended cab. Again, legroom, I'm looking out front, don't worry, but with the seat all the way back, I've got plenty of room for my legs here. Again, I'm 6'1" tall. I'm about 180 pounds. I'm very comfortable in the seat. I think these seats are, you know, very nice and supportive with the bolsters. Very comfortable. I think it's probably more comfortable than my mom's. This truck, steering wheel, nice and straight. It did have an alignment done. Also has brand new front brakes and rotors, so we certainly shouldn't have any issue stopping today on this drive. Hey, there's a new Maverick. See, that's closer to the size of this, but boy, the Ranger is a lot bigger. Brand new front brakes and rotors, new front stabilizer links, new outer tie rod ends, a fresh oil change and alignment. That was all just done to this truck. Those real nice Firestone Destination all-terrain tires have 9/32 seconds tread. They're white letter tires, which I think really look nice on a small truck like this, but especially a white small truck. I think that really makes it look snappy, jazzy, snazzy, whatever you want to call it. Tires have 9/30 seconds. The rear brakes have about 80% remaining. Again, this is a one owner truck. This truck spent the first 5 years of its life in Florida, and then after that it would go back and forth between Ohio and Florida. There's a Ranger just like my mom's right there. That's a 90. Can you guys see that? That's a 97 extended cab. That's funny. The color's even similar. And it's got white letter tires too, just like I was just talking about. Let's see if he goes on the outside lane here. I'll show you. Oh, come on, pal. Oh, actually, you know what? That's a 93 Ford Ranger. See how reliable these are? You'd think, look at that, look at that. Yeah, that's a 93. I can tell by the front, by the grill. You'd think that I planted these vehicles along this drive. That's so unbelievable that we saw that. My mom's is called like willow green or something like that. Hers is more of a mossy green, or like a willow, actually like a willow tree, I guess, green. That one right there was like a teal. But that was a 93. Think about that. It's even older. There's an F-150. It's even older than my mom's. So 93, that truck we just saw is over 30 years old, and it's still rocking and rolling. You know, that brings me to a point that I like to talk about sometimes. Yeah, I like to talk about a lot. I personally, this is a personal opinion, I think there's a lot of value in buying. I like older cars. I think there's a lot of value in what you get for the money. Like this truck right here for the money. This is a lot of vehicle for the money. But when you buy something at this age, you can look like we just saw that 1993 or thereabouts, 93, 94 Ranger, and you look around and you see what's on the road, you see what's lasting, and then you go read on the internet, oh yeah, Ford Ranger's really reliable, that 3-liter and even the 4-liter, you know, great motors. So when you buy something like this that's got some age to it, it's got some time behind it with people that have owned it and information out there that you can find out, is that a good car? You know, if people would have known, you know, the classic expression of hindsight's 20/20. I mean, if people would have known that the Chrysler, I'm gonna pick on Chrysler, the Chrysler 2.7 liter engine was going to be such a piece of garbage, and they were all going to start blowing up and locking up when they had virtually, you know, no miles on them because of these plastic and water pump problems, you know, nobody would have ever bought it. And then now that everybody knows that's a problem, and then the market corrects itself because those cars are so terrible, those cars just aren't worth anything because they have such a horrible reputation. So you see my point, just simply that when something has been out for a while, you find out what it is and get to see what the history is. And I have no idea what that car is right there. I'm a car person. I have no idea. That's a right-hand drive something. Looks like a Nissan or Infiniti. If you know what that was and you're watching this video, feel free to leave a comment. I don't know what that car was. Right-hand drive though, so obviously imported. But you see my point. People love Hondas and Toyotas because they're proven, they're reliable, they're all over the road. But this Ranger and this engine, darn near pretty much has equally good reputation. We're heading out towards the freeway. Jeep Wranglers, great reputation, hold great value. Did a video about one of those very recently. Saw several Jeeps while making that video, to my point that they're everywhere. I bet we'll see another Ranger on this video. We're heading towards the freeway. We're gonna go on the freeway like I like to do. We're gonna take you a few miles down and back, but there's nothing negative to, you know, about this truck or anything. I would highly encourage you to buy one. I like to do my reviews in a manner that, you know, is very neutral so that you can hear me talk about things I like and anything I don't like. And I very much enjoy to hear when someone says that they have enjoyed to watch my review of something and it's helped them to buy one. So if I've done that for you with this, please feel free to leave a comment. Leave a comment in general, or give me a thumbs up if you like what I do. Ring the bell and subscribe to my channel if you like what I do. Everything I do is off the cuff. It's not scripted. I have some notes here on my clipboard, but that's just about the specifics about this truck and the new service parts. But everything I talk about when I make a video is just kind of from my heart and off the cuff. So if you like how I do and how I present, you know, feel free to say so. Use the comment section. Look at that, two Jeep Wranglers back to back, red and green. If you want to use the comments to ask me a question, feel free. If you use the comments to talk amongst each other like a discussion board, that's great as well. Feel free to do so. I mentioned on the walk around video, we're almost to the freeway. I mentioned on the walk around video that I had read on Ford's actual website, Ford Trucks, there's another Maverick, Ford Trucks website, that in 2002 this 3-liter engine was revised and improved basically to increase fuel efficiency and towing capacity. So for what that's worth, I read it. I guess it must be fact, and it was on Ford Truck website there when I saw that. The fuel mileage that this is rated to get is 17 in the city and 21 on the highway. Most of the websites that I read, people talking about their actual reported gas mileage, like fueleconomy.gov or fuely.com, people stated that they were averaging right around 19 or maybe 20. So, you know, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. It's way better than the big full-size trucks, I can certainly tell you that. It's way better than my big Infiniti with a big V8 in it. It doesn't do very good. It's not so good. All right, here we go. Again, not a race car, but we can certainly get up to speed. There's our gauges again, if you didn't see before. All the gauges work correctly. The gas tank is full, by the way. And there we are at almost 60, getting on the on-ramp. I'm not even pushing it down that hard, and here we are, 65. I mean, you go over bumps like that. This is a small truck with not a lot of weight in the back, besides those bed rails that are back there in the bed that are sliding around a little bit. You know, you feel the bumps a little bit, but it is what it is. It's not a Cadillac, but it's a nice ride on smooth road. There we are at 70 miles an hour, nice and straight and smooth. Look at that. It'd be quite the comedy if we saw an 80s series Ranger on this drive. I haven't seen one for a little while. They're great trucks. Still at about 67 miles an hour here. We'll get through this construction here. It should open up a little bit. Thanks for watching and joining, everyone, really, on this beautiful sunny day in this very nice one-owner Edge Ranger pickup. I thoroughly enjoy to do the marketing and make the media content of vehicles, and I hope you appreciate what I do. And I personally like to keep it just the way I do it, a very amateur style, and try to improve a little bit with every video, but I enjoy to do what I do here and bring these cars to you and show you and tell you all about them. Once we get a little further out here, I'll demonstrate the cruise control. I mentioned on the walk around video as well that I had had these cruise control buttons replaced. These are brand new on both sides. They're very common to wear out, not work anymore. The rubber presses on those buttons gets kind of sticky or icky sometimes, or the actual button will wear a hole into the button if someone has used it a lot. So not too difficult to replace and not very expensive once again. So those are brand new. About 70 miles an hour. I'm going to push on and set, and I've got my cruise set now at 70. You can see maybe over there on the right it says speed control or CONT in green over there on the right. Don't worry, I'm looking out front. The cruise is set at 70, so now we're cruising at 70 feet off the pedals, and our cruise control is working. So I'm going to turn it off now though. Just click the off button. Just wanted to demonstrate that for you. And kick it up a little bit more here. Out of the construction zone, but we're going to get off the freeway here in about a mile. Now we're at about 75 miles per hour here. If you were towing something, there is also an overdrive off button. It just shifted back into overdrive, 75 miles an hour, 2,800 RPMs. There's an overdrive off button on the end of the shifter. You can push that, take it out of overdrive, which would help, as you may well know, but would help with going up and down steep hills if you're, towing something, or just in general if you want to get up to speed a little faster without letting it slip into overdrive, or without letting it go down into overdrive gear. You can keep it out of overdrive basically. So 75 once again, big old Sierra truck. We're gonna exit here and turn around and go back the same way. I did mention a couple other things in the walk around video that I want to say here. This is technically a 5-person truck because there is a lap belt in the middle here for someone to sit here. If you were to flip up this console, there's a lap belt behind, so this would be a seat for someone. And then of course the 2 jump seats in the rear, right? So it's actually a 5-person pickup. We're just gonna get, we're gonna just go over here. So that's interesting because it would be a tight fit for 5 adults, but technically it is a 5-person pickup. The other thing I wanted to say while we're sitting here at the red light is these extended cab doors are problematic on these trucks. And I'm not going to show you on this video, but I mentioned and showed on my walk around video, I spent a lot of money at a local body shop. They replaced all of the cables and the latches for the extended cab doors on this truck on both sides because they were sticky. They were very hard to open. They were basically seizing up. It's a real common problem on these Rangers. It's kind of a bad design flaw, but it's certainly worth getting fixed, because once you get it fixed, of course, now with everything being brand new again and at a pretty sizable expense, it's going to outlast the truck. So anyway, just a little factoid there. Oh, I thought that was an old Ranger. It's an old Dakota. Last time I was here, this light took an incredibly long amount of time, but we'll wait it out here another second. That's an old Dodge Dakota. They also have a real good reputation. That's like a 94, 95. Look at that old dog. Yeah, sounded like a manual. They had a good reputation too. 6-cylinder or 8-cylinder, but better with the 6. All right, so I think we might just go here because this is exactly what happened the last time. The light took like forever, so we're just gonna go. So don't tell anybody I did that. That light used to change really fast, and I don't know why, but I feel like it's just not working now. So here we go onto the on-ramp again. 50, 55. And 60 and 65. Speed limit 65. We're at 70 now. Alright, back up to 70 in overdrive, 74 miles per hour right there. Ladies and gentlemen, where's our Rangers? We want to see some fellow Rangers, right? Such a nice, manageable size. I commented on the walk-around video, this truck has these window guards, or rain guards as people call them, these tinted rain guards here. It gives it a nice little look. Some people often think that that means it's a smoker's vehicle. This was not a smoker's vehicle. It doesn't smell like smoke. I definitely know it wasn't smoked in. Also on the leading edge of the hood on this, it has the same tinted bug guard, as I call it. Looks nice against the white, and it's protected the hood on this very nicely from any stone chips. So I like this truck with the tonneau cover on the bed. I think it gives it a nice look, and it's very finished looking. I'm going to show you out back in case you missed it in the beginning while I continue to look out front. Okay, there you go. So tonneau cover on the bed right there. And this Edge package originally had these chunky bed rails, which are in the bed right now. I showed them on the walk around video. But you can't have those and have a tonneau cover at the same time, so those had to come off in order to have the tonneau cover. But those bed rails do look nice on this truck if you don't have a need to have the cover. But the cover that's on here is very nice. It's very tight. It's not dry or anything. It fits perfectly, so it's a real nice cover. We're just cruising right along at 74.32, something like that. I appreciate you watching and looking. As I said earlier, give a thumbs up, ring the bell, and subscribe. Leave a comment to ask me a question. Leave a comment to talk amongst yourself. Leave a comment if you own a Ranger like this. Kind of like I keep talking about my mom and hers that she's owned throughout my videos about this truck. If you have a great experience or whatever you want to share or say, feel free to share your comments and use the comment section as a discussion board of sorts, and that would be great. I'd like to hear about it and read it, because I'm sure anyone that's going to comment about their ownership experience is going to be nothing but positives. I did a video about a Toyota Avalon recently, and it had low miles for its age. It was like a 2010 with 110, I think it was. And somebody commented in on that one and said that they had one just like it, and that they were at, I believe, from memory, I believe the comment, he said he was at, or I think it was a man, said he was at 465,000 miles in daily driving his Avalon. So If you've got a Ranger with super high mileage, let's hear about it. I mentioned in this video, and I mentioned in the other video, and if you didn't hear me say it, my mom's Ranger, just yesterday, she texted me a picture. She has a 1997 Ranger. If you didn't hear me talk about it earlier, she just turned 200,000 miles. She sent me a picture of the odometer at 200,000 even yesterday and said, look, the truck turned 200,000. And I'm gonna say it again if you didn't hear me say it in the beginning or throughout the other parts of this video. She's had that truck for 14 years. She couldn't pry it out of her hands, and it's now just turned 200,000 miles, and she drives it daily, literally, to work and to all of her extracurricular activities. She drives it daily. So kind of usually cut off the end of my video right about here or somewhere thereabouts, but I'm somehow just hoping we see another Ranger. But I think it was pretty spectacular. If you didn't see it, rewind back towards the beginning, about maybe 6-7 minutes in, we saw a teal colored 1990, I think it was 1993, it was either 93, 94 or somewhere in there, Ranger, very similar to my mom's, which was kind of wild. Anyway, great trucks, great reliability. We're gonna go through this yellow light. Great longevity, great reliability, low cost of ownership, fair fuel mileage for what you're driving, and not a terrible ride at all. So I would highly recommend you buy one. Every time I say I would highly recommend, I am gonna reveal my age now. It reminds me of Ferris Bueller stating that he would highly recommend a Ferrari if you can afford one. Well, this isn't a Ferrari. This is a very modestly priced, reasonable, affordable truck, and I would highly recommend you consider a Ford Ranger because they are great trucks. They have a great reputation. They have a proven great reputation, like I talked about earlier, and it's just inexpensive to own and operate. And this particular truck is one owner, and it's ready to go and ready to drive, and it's got everything taken care of that needed attention, and it is just ready to go and ready to drive. So get yourself one, get yourself this one. I don't care what you get, but you should consider to get one because they are great. Oh, look at that dirty Jeep. All right, everybody. As soon as we get through this roundabout here, I appreciate your views, appreciate your subscriptions, appreciate your comments. Until next time, I will see you next time on the next video. I don't know what it'll be, but follow my channel and you can find out as well. All right, have a great day. Thanks so much. Peace. Bye-bye.